Greetings everyone! Lenten season is coming. The time to reflect on Jesus' sacrifice and to prepare our hearts for Easter are near.
So, we prepare a video presentation about the 14 stations of the cross to show the importance of it and show appreciation on Passion of the Christ.
Hi, my name is Mary Joy Roman.
I'm Jamiela Laxamana.
Join us in discussing the 14 stations of the cross. The first station of the cross, Jesus is condemned to death. By the time Jesus stood before Pilate for his sentencing, he had already experienced pain and suffering. He was betrayed by one of his closest friends, mocked and arrested for committing no crime, and forced to wear a crown of thorns. Yet, despite his innocence, Jesus freely accepted the judgment placed on him. In the most of human settings, Jesus stands by being beaten and tortured. He has already experienced great solidarity with so many others on our planet. He has now been unfairly sentenced to death. His commitment to fully join our life has reached its conclusion. He answered yes to God and entrusted his life to Him. As he is shattered and surrendered for us, we follow him in this last surrender and examine each location along the route with awe. The second station of the cross, Jesus carries his cross. After beating Jesus and pressing the crown of thorns further into his head, the soldiers placed a heavy wooden beam on Jesus' shoulder. In freely accepting his cross, Jesus teaches us that the cross is a sign of love without limits.
Third station of the cross, Jesus falls for the first time. The weight is unbearable. Jesus falls under it. How could he enter a lance completely without surrendering to the crushing weight of the lot of so many on this earth? He lays on the ground and knows the experience of weakness beneath unfair burdens. He feels the powerlessness of wondering if he will ever be able to continue. He is pulled up and made up to continue. Fourth station of the cross, Jesus meets his mother. Jesus' route leads him to a great source of strength that he needs to keep going. His mother had taught him the meaning of, "Behold, the handmaid of the Lord," throughout his life. And now they stare into one another's eyes. Jesus met his mother's gaze as he continued his journey. Mary draws closer to her son, yet their hug is limited owing to the cross. There are no words said. Their relationship transmits compassion and love without the need of words. Despite her excruciating pain, Mary persists.
The fifth station of the cross, Simon of Cyrene helps Jesus to carry his cross. Even Jesus knows how difficult it is to ask for help. He is forced to feel the poverty of being unable to shoulder his weight on his own. He walks inside the room. All people who have to rely on others to survive have had this experience. He doesn't have the joy of bearing this weight alone. Walking with Jesus and bearing the load of the cross, the Cyrenian realized that being able to follow him to crucifixion and assist him was a blessing. His heart was struck by the mystery of Jesus, who was silent and suffering. Jesus, whose divine love is the one thing that can save all of mankind, asked us to share his cross so that we might fill in the gaps in his suffering. The sixth station of the cross, Veronica wipes the face of Jesus. The sixth station of the cross depicts a Jerusalem woman called Veronica who is touched by pity when she sees Jesus on his way to be crucified and offers him her veil to clean his face. With his face caked in blood, sweat, and filth, Jesus wiped his tired face with the veil before handing it back to Veronica, with his picture imprinted on the linen. Veronica's kind conduct on the Via Dolorosa has lived on in tradition for centuries, despite the fact that she is not mentioned in the Gospels.
Seventh station of the cross, Jesus falls for the second time. Even with the help of Simon, Jesus falls for a second time. His mortal body is failing him from the torture of his scourging and from the pure exhaustion of carrying the heavy cross. As our Lord falls again, the cross crushes his courage and beaten back and pushes the crown of thorns deeper into his skull as he crashes to the ground in the complete agony. Jesus slowly raises his eyes towards heaven, knowing he must somehow rise and continue in order to do his Father's will. There, he lay his face down in the dirt, sweat dripping from his brow, knees scraped and bleeding. Oh, what he wouldn't give to have it all and end it right there. But Jesus is only halfway there, only halfway through his journey to Calvary. Drained of all his strength, somehow he finds energy enough to get back up and continue on. 8th station of the cross. Jesus meets the women of Jerusalem. The ladies and children of Jerusalem rushed out to console and thank him. They had witnessed his compassion and were grateful for his soothing words, freedom. To connect with them, he had broken all kinds of social and religious rules. They've come to help him now. He understands their anguish. He hurts since he knows he won't be able to aid them any longer in this life. He understands the enigma of facing death's separation.
The 9th station. Jesus falls a third time. This last autumn has been disastrous. Jesus is barely able to get to the conclusion. Jesus falls beneath the weight of the cross, summoning all of his last strength and relying on his deep confidence in God. His executioners saw him as a shattered man, pitiful but paying a just price. They assist him in ascending the hill of crucifixion. The 10th station of the cross. Jesus' clothes are taken away. Beneath the silver dome to the right is the chapel that commemorates where Jesus was stripped of his garments, which were distributed among those who helped him on the cross. This was the place from which pilgrims would climb up to the Calvary during the time of the Crusaders.
11th station of the cross. Jesus is nailed to the cross. Here, Jesus was nailed to the cross as depicted in the mosaic we see across from us. A crusader mosaic in the ceiling describes Jesus as the ruler of the world, and on the wall is an image of the binding of Isaac, which according to the ancient tradition actually took place at Calvary, hinting at the crucifixion of Jesus and his resurrection. This section of the compound belongs to the Catholic Church and is therefore known as the Latin Calvary. The area on the left, the 12th station of the cross, belongs to the Greek Orthodox Church and is called the Greek Orthodox Calvary. 12th station of the cross. Jesus dies on the cross. In the New Testament, the place where Jesus was crucified is called Golgotha. Tradition says that Adam was buried underneath the rock of Golgotha and that Jesus' blood dripped onto Adam's skull, symbolizing atonement for Adam's original sin. Part of the rock is visible in the chapel of Adam. Beneath us, especially the red veins in the stone which are thought to be the blood of Christ. In the background, we see Jesus on the cross and above him is indignant. This is Jesus the King of the Jews, though the altar is a round niche in which the cross is stood. A long line of people waits to visit this site, and the faithful prostrate themselves in holy awe.
The 13th station. The body of Jesus is taken down from the cross. In his mother's arms, Jesus' dead corpse rests. He has genuinely died a complete and total sacrifice. The 14th station. Jesus is laid in the tomb. They transport Jesus' body to its final resting place. The huge stone atop the tomb is the ultimate symbol of death's inevitability. Who will be the one to make the last act of surrender? Would you have guessed that this tomb would be empty soon? Or that Jesus would appear to his disciples alive? Or that they would identify him in the breaking of bread? Oh, that our hearts will burn inside as when we comprehend how much he had to go through and die for us to be able to share in his glory. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching.
I hope this video helped you reflect in this upcoming Lenten season and know the importance of passion, death, and resurrection of Jesus Christ.
Goodbye!